disc is the outside of the clutch-driven disc. Friction liner with increased friction. Spline hoop in the middle of the driven disc through a shaft with a spline kit. While transferring torque like this, the driven disc can also be moved axially. The transmission input shaft goes in like this. It also realizes the torque from the engine output. Flywheel to gearbox transmission. Apply an axial pressure to the driven disc. Between the driven disc and the flywheel, there will be enough friction. Ensure that the driven disc belt load rotates synchronously with this static friction almost disconnect. Therefore, the manual transmission is efficient. Platen is the device responsible for applying this axial pressure. It had a clutch cover, transmission plate connection made of spring steel sheet. Simultaneous rotation and losing platen to move axially back and forth. The pressure plate can apply pressure by relying on its diaphragm. The release hook connects the diaphragm spring to the plate. It is a disc-shaped steel plate with a certain tip. The spring acts as a compression mechanism. The diaphragm spring has a hole in the mid-conveyor shaft. There are a lot of mirror grooves around. Wire support ring for outer ring of leaves can be used as a fulcrum for elastic deformation. If, like the middle part of the diaphragm spring, apply an axial pressure, it will have an anti-cone shape. The outer edge will tilt upside down. The rivet passes through the hole at the end of the slot. Secure the diaphragm spring to the clutch cover. The internal structure and the weight of labor is covers the pressure plate assembly. Hold the clutch cover to the flywheel. Time. The diaphragm spring is under pressure from the clutch, produce elastic deformation. Foreign puts pressure on the pressure plate. Press the forward plate tightly on the flywheel. The clutch plate and the flywheel combine to transfer power. But we're going to interrupt the power transmit. Press the clutch pedal. The clutch mechanism transfers the force to the spring. Push for separation, bearing down diaphragm spring. When the pressure plate loses the pressing force of the diaphragm, the edge of the diaphragm spring is reversed. Pull the platen back through the separation hole. Interrupt power transfer, separation engine, power transmission of flywheel and transmission input shaft. It means the most basic separation and combination functional requirement. There's also a very important device in the clutch. Torsional shock absorber. Engine torque passed to the forward by friction line. And then to the shock absorber riveted to the driven rod pin. The disc passes through the shock absorber spring on the shock absorber shock and torsion. After the vibration, transfer to forward plate mushroom with inner spring. Input shaft of the gearbox. Finally, the filtered force is received through the spring.